Hello, everyone. How are you? This is Dagmar, your spiritual healer and teacher. And I just want to share some thoughts with you today. On Tuesday, we talked about working with or healing with energies and frequencies and the incredible or amazing results we can achieve, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and physically using energies from a healing standpoint. I've used energies for the past 16 years in my spiritual healing practice, doing spiritual healing, but we can also use energies and frequencies, aiding our body, the physical body, in healing. If you haven't seen my video from Tuesday, I would recommend watching it. It's packed with awesome information. Now, I believe that, most of all our illnesses really come from toxins. It's either spiritual toxins, which is our unresolved pain, or it's physical toxins that are chemicals that just don't belong in our body, or our body just doesn't know what to do with it. And, the physical toxins, we are being bombarded with physical toxins these days, with poisons, whether it is through medications, vaccines, heavy metals, preservatives, or pesticides, herbicides, viruses, fungi, bacteria, chemicals in the water, chemicals in the air, so it's just, we're being bombarded from every aspect with toxins. All right. Now, spiritual toxins are more the unresolved pain. That's the stuff that we experienced pain-wise. Now, it could be mentally, emotionally, physically, that we haven't fully processed. And so as we haven't fully processed it, it becomes toxic to our soul. This is why we have dysfunctions in our lives, why we have abuse in our lives, why people, dish out pain all the time. It's because they're hurting themselves. And so, that becomes toxic to our soul. Now, you may have heard of, or people say, hey, that person is toxic, right? Well, what does that mean? Well, let's look at what the person is. They're negative, right? They're low vibration. They usually hurt others. They might have low self-esteem. They perhaps are draining your energy. Toxic people, and instinctively that they're not good for you. Well, there's degrees of toxicity. Well, we may not all be to that point toxic, but we're all toxic to a certain degree. Whether it manifests itself in our illness, or it manifests itself in our mental illness, or not even illness, but perhaps mental dysfunction of some sort, right? Or we're not quite okay, or emotional overwhelm. It all depends on the kind of toxins we have accumulated and, how much of toxic stuff we have accumulated. And so I just want to say there is a natural process that detoxifies our body, right? We have the liver, the kidneys, we have the lymph, and, there's a natural detoxification that happens in our body. But I can tell you right now, if that's all you're depending on, it's not enough, okay? Because we're being bombarded with toxic stuff so fast and in such quantities that our natural system can't process it all. And what happens in our bodies, actually, our bodies don't eliminate all of it. We actually store our toxins in our fatty tissue. and we accumulate it there. And sometimes we even create fat. That's why, there's such obesity. It's not because of sugar, it's because of toxins, because our body actually generates fat in order to store toxins in it, to eliminate it from our main bloodstream and stuff. And so quite often, you see people really gain weight on specific, like perhaps antidepressants, or it's all chemicals, right? Anyway, yeah, and then our liver starts not functioning right. And that's another problem we have with, gaining weight and things like that, not being able to lose it. And so we actually accumulate toxins, the chemicals, and they come from all over the place. And so we need to learn how to properly detoxify the body, but also how do we recover the body from, the damage perhaps, or the injury that these toxins have caused us, because quite often that is so. Like, for example, I've experienced being exposed to arsenic from well water, and in a matter of 1 to 2 years, I started having major kidney stones. And after I detoxified my body from the arsenic, my kidney stones went away. No more kidney stones. Okay, so it's definitely from that. And the thing is that toxins interrupt our natural small little ecosystem we have within our bodies, and the balance. And when that comes out of balance, and that ecosystem no longer works properly, then we start having issues. We start having illnesses, and our bodily functions stop functioning correctly. Like in my case, I had kidney stones all of a sudden. Always start having pain. Like, for example, I started having hip pain from the arsenic. So what I'm trying to say is that we have a natural detoxification system, but it's not enough. We have to actually do more. We have to learn how to detoxify our body. In the case of like heavy metals, for example, or certain pesticides and herbicides, you have to bind the chemical to actually move it out of your body. Otherwise, it won't leave your body. And so there is definitely things to learn. And then there's certain damage that may be done that perhaps you might have to support the body in healing from. And that is all that we need to learn to basically bring ourselves back into health each time. Otherwise, we suffer all kinds of illnesses with our bodies these days. And so, then there is the spiritual toxicity, as I mentioned, the unresolved pain. Now, there is a natural also healing process we go through. We naturally heal through repetition, through repeating, our unresolved pain and our situations, in hopes that, we will actually digest our pain. But most often what happens is we actually don't. What we do is we shove it. We actually don't work on it and digest it properly because we don't want to deal with it. And so, all of a sudden it becomes this unresolved pain, and we keep repeating things and becomes more unresolved pain, and that becomes all toxic to our soul. And we also accumulate that over time, including we have accumulated things over past lifetimes, and we bring that into this life, which also causes a different toxicity or dysfunction, if you will, in our lives. How does it all manifest? In many different ways, whether it is, spiritual blocks. You can't, get any clients for your business, or if you have a business, your clients, drag you down energetically. They suck your energy, or you have a hard time being seen, or you're afraid, or, you have anxiety issues, or trust issues, or self-esteem issues, or doubts. I mean, it manifests in all sorts of different ways. And so it's really important, again, because the natural healing process is just not enough and it's too slow. And we're being bombarded with pain, again, on a much faster scale, much faster, much more pain. And so we've got to do more professional type of healing to basically help us get out of these slumps, okay, that we're in, get rid of this toxicity, you know. The natural process of healing, we get bombarded with so many pains, and, you know, just look at the COVID pandemic, you know, the fear pandemic, the lockdowns, the job losses, now the financial issues we're dealing with. It's all pain, whether it's emotional, mental, or physical, it doesn't matter. It's all pain. You know, the physical, you know, when we're bombarded with these toxins and we get ill and we don't function right, we can't do the things we need to do, that's also painful, right? Not to mention the fact that we're experiencing physical pain from the toxins. Like, for example, you know, fibromyalgia, I believe, is actually accumulated unresolved emotional, spiritual pain, plus toxins, you know, or both, okay? And or both. It's either one or the other or both. And so we need to learn how to help the soul detoxify from this. This is what's called spiritual healing. You know, I use a methodology called Ariel Quantum Healing, in which I basically help you do that, including, you know, resolve issues from past lifetimes and heal that unresolved pain from then too. And, you know, so we need to learn to do both these days, because otherwise, you know, we get buried, absolutely buried, I think, by all the pain. And based on some people I hear and their predicaments and where they're at, that's what they're experiencing. You know, there's a lot of dark night of the soul happening, and that is our darkness, is all this toxic stuff that we carry, and that's what creates our darkness. And it's the healing process of transformation that actually transforms the darkness into light. Now, I invite you, you know, to train with me for 12 months in the 12-month Alchemy for Healers program. And it's not just about training, it's about your transformation as well. So it's transformation and training. And it basically, I know it sounds like a big commitment, 12 months, but it's really quite not. I've been actually healing on myself for the past 16 years, okay? And I'm talking professional healing. And, you know, mostly really past life healings, because, you know, there's only so much healing can do on the present life. And, but I've had a lot of past lives, and they have created many, many blocks for me and dysfunctions, and I've cleared all of them. And today I still have stuff show up every so often, but it's not as often as it was in the beginning. So yeah, 1 year, 12 months is really not very much. And I want you to get into the habit of actually healing, because that's what's required these days. It's like, because we are constantly experiencing more pain, it takes time to, you know, heal the old stuff that we've brought into this life, much less dealing with all the new stuff. See, and when we actually become lighter and we heal a lot of this pain from the past, also the new stuff doesn't stick as much, okay? It kind of like is on a raincoat, drops on a raincoat, you know, they just kind of fall off more. But when you have a lot of pain that you carry inside of you and you get bombarded with all this other pain, guess what? It just really sticks to you, all right? So there's definite advantage, big advantages to you healing this unresolved past. And, you know, I just want to say, for those of you who are learning, who are just learning, this is a perfect program for you, because you're not going to have the mindset of, hey, I already know everything. So you're going to be open to learning new information. And I've got some amazing wisdom to share with you and teach you in terms of, you know, the body and the soul and the mind and the art and science of healing. And then, going through your own transformation. You'll learn amazing stuff about yourself. Now, for those of you guys who are still healing, this is absolutely perfect because I walk you through the Ariel Quantum Healing transformational process to really be able to professionally heal, the stuff from your past, including especially your past lifetimes that you can't readily see yourselves. Okay. And so, I help you with that, go through that process, and to basically, very quickly overcome whatever issues you might be carrying, whether it's self-doubt, whether it's lack of self-confidence, whether it is not having a voice, whether, you're procrastinating and you can't quite get out there with, what is your passion, all that stuff is somewhere lodged in your subconscious mind around some kind of pain, right? So, and if you're, having challenges, for example, of not getting enough clients, or, if you're having challenges, if you do have clients that they're actually dragging your energy down and really sucking your energy, you need to heal stuff because they're really hooking into your hooks, all right, into your unresolved pain. And so you've got to work on yourself. Otherwise, it becomes very difficult and painful to work with people, when you have your own stuff that they're keying you into. And so healing is the antidote to all that. Now, if you already have a full-time business and you want to expand on your divine gifts and your wisdom, this is a wonderful system for you as well. And so I invite you to join me for this 12-month Alchemy for Healers. It is, from a time standpoint, it's a time investment, but it's very flexible, okay? It's basically mostly online. So you go at your pace, and whenever you can, watch a video, go through some powerful training, or do a little bit of homework, or go through a healing meditation and actually work on yourself, your transformation. But we also have mastermind groups that we do throughout the month, and where it's a life support for you, where you can ask questions and we can take you to the next level. We can help you move forward in your journey. And then, all right, the time investment is really about maybe 1 to 2 hours a week, okay, if you want to keep moving forward. And, anybody can do that on top of even a regular job, outside of what you're doing. And so it's incredibly flexible, and except for the meetings are a fixed time, but I try to do them in the evenings when other people can. We may vary the time so that if we're talking international, we can also encompass those people. But, the financial investment, it's amazing. It's I designed it very affordable because I would love to help as many people as I possibly can because of my own purpose. My mission in life is to help basically you as healers to get out there and make a difference so we can collectively shift the reality. And it's going to be up to us healers because, change, real change, true change happens from the inside out. And that's what we're working on with people. When we're healers, we're working on the inside of the people to help them change their reality. And if you learn how to do that and shift individual reality, we then can shift collective reality. Okay, the more people we get on board shifting their reality, the more we'll shift collective reality. And so that's my mission in life. So I've designed this program very affordable with the thought in mind that I want to help as many people as possible, okay? And so I can lower the cost on the individual basis. And so the entire year, okay, is basically costs less than 10 sessions, private sessions with me. And you can have as many healings as you want. You can do, 2-3 healings a month. So you can get those 10 sessions in a month, basically. you know, for a fraction of the price it would cost to come to me. And so it's incredibly affordable. You can pay the entire year if you want, and or you can do monthly installments. And I'm going to let you look at I'm going to put a link below. You can take a look at it. It's basically, the installments are about $100 a month, which just anybody can afford. It's a no-brainer. I mean, you're not going to get less expensive education and transformation that can change your life for less cost than this, okay? I'm gonna leave the link to the 12-month alchemy program below the video. And or if you are really interested, but you have some questions, I'm happy to answer them for you and see if this is a fit for you. I'm gonna leave a link below the video also where you can book a brief consultation with me, either through Zoom or phone, and we can talk. And I can help you perhaps make a decision on which way to go for you, okay? Have yourself a blessed day. Namaste until next time.